Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition. Last time it was the 45th edition, so I guess you guys can probably guess from that this time it's going to be the 46th edition of the Comicsgate Commandos. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. What a fantastic week it's been. Not really. I'm a good actor, though, so it's been a kind of a week. Wow, some crazy stuff. The inauguration of the 45th/47th president of these United States of America, Donald J. Trump, occurs on Saturday. That's going to be a fun time, I suppose, unless something horrible happens. But that's not going to happen, right? I mean, with all the crazy stuff that was going on in the month of January, nothing weird's going to happen, right? That doesn't add up. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring on my co-hosts for this evening. The first is the ineffable Carbon Hart. What's up, Colonel Carbon?
Yes, sir. We're back. Hail.
That's right. Hail. How's your week been, brother?
Pretty good, can't complain. 2025 off to a good start. I think we're going to be victorious this year.
Let's hope so. At the very least, the economy is going to get better, so that's good.
Yes. And also, a lot of liberals are going to be stomped out, basically.
That's true. Even if they're not gone, it will be thoroughly enjoyable to watch them spurging out for the whole year and then the next 4 years.
No more beta bitches this year. We're not tolerating it.
I think I've said before how I want that Epstein list before I'm all fully on board, but I am fully on board for the spurging out of the leftist, the liberal, the Marxist.
Well, I don't think we can get everything. I mean, I don't know about the list, but we'll see.
We'll see. Let me bring on my next, not a surprise co-host. It is, oh my gosh, what the rank I gave you last time? Sergeant Kuman, ladies and gentlemen. He's muted, but he's still working on.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Coming to you unmuted and live from the drawing table in Quebec City, from the 51st state, soon to be, in the largest empire known to man.
Oh my God. Don't say it like that. That makes it more like post-apocalypse vibes intensify.
Hey, listen, I'm a comic book artist. I dramatize things for a living, so.
Fair enough.
Coming from the North Coast, the North Coast of the U.S.
That's right, beyond the ice wall.
Beyond the ice wall. Hey, look at that stuff you're doing there for Rattel. Looks pretty good.
Dude, he's falling. Is it going to be his demise? We don't know yet. This is page 21 of 24. I am getting so close to the end, brother.
That's awesome, dude. Very cool. I want to talk to you more about that number 24, but let's keep introducing people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest this evening. Not our very, very special guest. This is just a very special guest. Just one very. But it is, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, the General Scab. Hail.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
What's up, Johnny? How you been, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I thought I'd pop on and say hello to you all. I might not be on for long, but I'll hang around for a bit. I wanted to see your special guest.
Your internet seems to be doing a lot better.
Yeah, I've got a cable in there now, so I'm not using Wi-Fi. It's good.
Perfect.
It's better.
Perfect. That's amazing.
Hail, Johnny. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Carbon, and you, Fred.
I see you got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, what's that?
I guess that's who you're rooting for the Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah, it's my team. It's always been my team.
Really?
Okay.
I thought the Manchester Reds were always your team.
No, I'm Man City. I'm Manchester Blues.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But yeah, I like the Kansas City Chiefs. I've always been a fan of Kansas since the Wizard of Oz.
Well, they're in the running. It's going to be them or the Lions, so we'll see.
See, Sleeping Psychopathy's not happy with your Kansas City Chiefs shirt there.
Well, he can go fuck.
Oh no! Be nice to her.
That was from before. That was from before, though, that message.
I know. I like to sometimes read messages that have nothing to do with what we're talking about, as if the person. Okay, anyway. I'm explaining my jokes. Ladies and gentlemen, our very, very special guest for this evening, it is Jared from Cross Comics. What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
No doubt. Anytime.
I
So
just
quick-
wanted to say, in honor of the 46th Comicsgate Commando being here, I thought I would honor our 46th president by eating ice cream and shitting my pants. But then, in true Biden behavior, I actually forgot to do all of that, and I just showed up anyway.
Now you got to hold your arms really straight at your sides and just
Right,
walk
yeah.
into a wall.
Right? Yeah. I
sure
already
you
did
don't-
that. It's just not on camera, so you know.
I think that's a way to get out of answering questions tonight, Patrick. Be careful.
Right, just
Right. I'll just turn and just walk out that way. Come back a little bit
But you
later.
could sniff the hair of that little doll that you have next to you.
yeah.
over there.
that is absolutely going to happen for sure. Yeah.
Is that Captain Marvel? Is that Common America? What is that?
That is
doll there?
Common America. I like
I
Common
love
America. I'm not a
Common
big fan
America.
of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Big fan of Miss Marvel.
Yes.
Big
With
fan of
the
Miss Marvel.
when she had her
Yeah.
black suit with the
Yes.
Thunderbolt.
Oh
on?
yeah,
Yes.
the Warbird costume. Hell yes. Loved
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Binary was always weird to me, but
Yeah, I agree.
Miss Marvel was cool.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel
she
used to
was.
be sick. Remember when before she was in the movies and she was in like cartoon shows and stuff? You were like, oh yeah, Miss Marvel's cool.
Yeah. She had a really great presence in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was a really great show. It was a
yeah.
tragedy that only had 2 seasons.
Isn't that the one where I just posted something? I think it was from that show where it was they go to Latveria to take on Doom, and he just like one mans them all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're so great.
And the best part of it is that at the end, it's setting up the Skrull invasion.
yes,
And Doom is just like he completely knows, and he's just disappointed that they
yes,
don't. You know,
Yes,
like
that was
he's so far ahead of them.
Oh, it's classic Doom, dude.
It really
classic
was great.
Well, speaking of Marvel comics, I think we should probably do a little icebreaker before we get into Jared's comic. I want to do a little icebreaker, just because it's topical. It's what's going on today. There's actually a lot of topics we could talk about. We could talk about Diamond Comics, or what's it called?
Diamond Distribution.
Diamond Distribution. I'm sorry, my brain. It's been a long work day. And then we could talk about Neil Gaiman, if we want to talk about that.
Oh yeah,
That's something. But there is also something that was released today, if I'm not mistaken, that I want to get your guys' opinions on. So what we'll do is we'll watch it, and we'll watch it first,
Oh yeah.
and then we'll rewind it and talk about it. I have not seen this yet, so let's see how this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, the trailer for Daredevil Born Again, which is supposed to be a good show, I guess.
Thank you for finding the time. I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
The mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced.
Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
This city can't go unchecked.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign.
Am I putting the hatchet down? I was raised to believe in grace. But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Wow. Wow.
Disney. It's done by Disney.
Yeah, well, they bought it all. Well, I guess Marvel already owned. They had they lent out the Netflix rights for Daredevil, but then they got it back. So yeah, Disney's making it now.
That's not very good. I don't like Disney.
Yeah, not generally. But so let's go down the line here. Carbon, how do you feel about this?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a fan of the Daredevil series on Netflix with the same cast. Charlie Cox as Daredevil. It was excellent. I think most people who have seen it probably like it. It has some iconic action scenes. So being that this has the original cast in it, and you got John Bernthal in there, which was cool to see. Punisher. The trailer looks pretty good. The scenes in here are depicting something similar to the original series, which is a good thing. Hopefully it'll follow, the same kind of suit as the original. If it does, it's a winner. If they deviate, then there might be some problems. But from what I'm seeing here, man, this could be a winner, and that's because it has the original cast. It has Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, of course. So those guys, I don't think they would have done this if it deviated too much from those seasons. So I'm excited for this, man. That series was fucking pretty badass.
Yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I made a terrible error. I need to do two things. One, I need to bring on our next, my other co-host. It's Katie Did, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Hey guys, what's
Hey,
Katie.
going on?
Hey,
How you been, Katie?
I've
What's
been
up, Katie?
great. Hell CG Commandos, Hell Chats. Good to be here, guys.
And Katie brings up the terrible error that I made here. The chat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. That was the second thing I should have done after bringing on everybody. We've got...
You have to hell the chat.
You have to. Zombie Boy. I appreciate you being the first here. It's an impressive feat because Adam Weber usually is the one here. But Zombie, if you're the first one, it's your duty to bring up to raise the flag. It could be, it could be a don't tread on me flag. It could be the American flag, whichever one. Or a Russian flag. I'm kidding. I'm joking. It's a joke. But yeah, just raise the flag next time, because technically that means Adam Weber was the first here because he raised the flag. I'm sorry, Zombie Boy. I'm sorry. We've got Frederick Gamon. He's right here with us. We have Frost Comics. He's also right here with us. Here's Katie Did right there.
Woo.
We have Son of Watt. He's been here a couple times, at least 2 or 3 times, I want to say. Right, Son of Watt? Thank you for coming back, brother. I appreciate it.
Or is this Son of Wait?
Oh,
Because
maybe
he's got that
it is.
long
No, it's Son of
hyphen over. Are you sure it's Son of What? Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Needs
you
to
are
correct-
asking someone that struggles to say
Wrong person.
omnibus.
I think he needs to confirm because that A has the long. All right, I'm being nerdy here, but
Well, now it's literally son of what, because we don't know what it is.
Nice.
Fitting.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. You're going to have more of this kind of humor on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He said 6 watching with the Sinister Six, lol. Yes. That's awesome. I love the Sinister Six. I love the OG Sinister Six. I'm not going to get on a tangent. I'm sorry. We have Adam. I already said Adam Weber. I love this. I can't tell. I literally can't tell the difference until I like. It's awesome. We have. I'm sorry. Let me keep scrolling here. We got Johnny Scab, King Scab. We got him right here.
Hell,
folks.
Johnny.
We have Dr. Ben.
Hell,
Not-
Dr. Ben.
Here, but he's saluting. Yes, well, hail Dr. Ben. We got Grey Wolf. Hail chat, he says. Thank you, sir. We got B.A. Turner. Hail jabronis. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, be.
Hell, BA.
Immortal Rising Comic Books. He says, hello. Hello, Immortal
Hi,
Rising.
Aaron.
We have...
So why is Dr. Ben not on tonight? Is he working for the Rippaverse or something?
Better
we'll-
not.
We'll get into that, brother. Don't-
Oh, don't you tell me.
What does he do at the Rippaverse?
Oh, we'll get into it. I mean, there's not a lot that's
Mhm.
actually done at the Rippaverse, so who knows? But
I assume he's not an editor,
yeah,
or is he an editor?
we don't, we're still investigating. I have agents undercover. We got my sketchbook 340. He says, Patrick, why are you wearing that beret like a Russian extra from an 80s B movie? Because my sketchbook 340. I didn't get far enough in Marine Corps ROTC to know how to wear a beret. Okay, Hojo made fun of me for it. I know I'm not wearing it correctly.
Yeah,
it is pretty
Hojo,
cool.
and in his military experience.
Yes. He was like, you should be ashamed of yourself for showing up with that beret that way. I don't know how to do it.
Well, at least you're not doing stolen valor by trying too hard.
Oh
So,
no, I was in there
yeah.
I was in there for a semester, and then I had a open heart surgery, so it kind of made me, not able to be in the military. So, we got sleeping psychopathy. She says no. What's up, sleeping psychopathy? We have Rosario. What's up, Rosario? Welcome back. Yo, chat. We got Belmont Press Comics. Hail, Commandos. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Bat Sauce. He says, meep, meep.
Hey,
Hello,
Bat Sauce.
Bat Sauce. We have Mary Grace Quinlan saying unbiasedly, Patrick's the best. Mary Grace.
Hail, Clan Quinlan.
That's right. Remember, you guys need to be nice to me and the rest of my family. Otherwise, we will not allow you into our conclave in the apocalypse. Just be nice to us. We're going to have food and homeschooling and Catholicism.
Word.
So
Nice.
And drama classes.
yeah, actually, probably.
Now, when you say drama classes, do you mean drama classes or like Comicsgate drama
Oh,
classes?
Patrick was in the drama club.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well, Shakespearean drama classes.
I was an officer in the Shakespeare Club.
Okay.
So
Just
And he's,
no
and he's a
backstabbing.
baker. He's from a long line of bakers. He's a bread expert.
That's true. I was my pride was insulted and wounded by Mr. Self-Destruct saying that my question about bread. First of all, who's going to get upset about asking a question about bread? If I asked you guys like, hey, what's your favorite bread? Are you going to get mad at me for asking that question?
No, but give me some time to think about it. I don't know if I know off the
That's
top
fair.
of my head.
Dude, there's some bread with walnuts in it. That's so freaking good.
Salt and pepper bread. That's brilliant.
Salt and pepper. Wow. Okay, we're gonna.
Bread is fundamental to the development of Western civilization.
You're not
Wow.
wrong.
Yeah. I was told by a guy, he's lost a lot. He's a coworker of mine, a good friend too. He worked really hard to lose a lot of weight. He lost probably 30, 40 pounds or something.
Wow.
He's like only eating meat and eggs and all that kind of stuff. But he like told me that he thinks that tomatoes and bread are like unhealthy for humans. He's like, humans aren't supposed to eat those. And I'm like, brother, people have been eating bread since the dawn of mankind. Well, yeah, probably since the dawn of mankind, since I don't believe in evolution. So yeah, a long time.
To be fair, the bread we have today is not the same bread we've been eating for a long time.
No, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Well, that's a rabbit hole we can get into another time.
Yeah, we'll talk about bread in a second here. Frost,
We'll have a bread stream later.
Jared is very excited to talk about bread instead of his comic books. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
make
I
some
know
bread.
one is I can admit I can be objective. One is going to be more nutritionally filling than the other. I can admit it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We have Skeleton Core Comics. It says, "Hail Commandos, hail chat, hail Skeleton Core." Thank you for being here, man. We have G Dash. Hi everyone, glad to see Johnny back, and Jared seems cool. Very nice. Thanks for being here, G Dash. I appreciate it, man. And we have the Squid. He says, "I'm not getting my hopes up for Daredevil, I assume."
Yeah.
We have Chuck Reardon. Hail the chat and the panel. Hail Chuck Reardon. Thank you for being here, man. We have Catalyst Vault. What's up, Catalyst Vault? How you doing? Here, he says. Sir Ubasan. Here. Hail and hail the Iron Age. Yes, sir. Hail the Iron Age and Comicsgate. That's right. All comics need to evolve creativity. That's true. Sleeping Psychopathy, I agree with you. For the record, she's saying no to Canada becoming the 51st state. That's what she was talking about. And that is the concern. If they
Well, what we can do is we can actually get rid of California and take Canada instead of California.
I thought Project 2025 was about putting all the people in camps and reprogramming them. Was that not the case?
yeah, I mean that's what I voted for.
We
So
just throw the Canadians in there too, right? It's
If
fine.
you look what tried to
Canada's
take
already a
Canada,
camp, but
Oh, you're not wrong.
you'd have to declare war on France and England, because Canada's kind of like owned by us, isn't it? Really?
I know. No, that's true. We would have to ask the king, your false king, if
The
he would
Sultan?
allow
Oh no, the king. Yeah, you're right.
Canada to be
We could-
taken over.
We could probably sell it to you. We'd sell a bit of land to you. You can have half of it. We'll keep the best bits.
Look, Johnny, we'll just call it even, and we'll annex you too. How about that?
To be honest, I wouldn't mind that right now. To be honest, it's the only time in our history that I would say yes to that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to negotiate with England about anything right now.
Yeah.
Because we're at the point, Johnny. We'll be there soon. Like I told you on Twitter, we're coming for you, mate. We're gonna
won't
save
be no
our
much.
brethren.
That's
I
right.
want
And we
these
want
on Muppets
reparations for
in
those
the morning,
taxes you
right
taxed
up.
from us, you motherfuckers.
well, the Trump's already doing that with the external revenue service now.
Yeah, that's something else. I saw the beginning of that tweet and I was like, oh, he's gonna dissolve the IRS. No.
Now he's creating the ERS.
Yeah. More taxes. Okay, cool.
Yay!
G-Dash says, is Mary Grace Quinlan Pat's mom or his beard? She's my sister, you weirdo. You're not weird, G-Dash. But yeah, she's my sister. Be nice. We have Sir Ubison. I didn't read his. I'm sorry, Sir Ubison. What was your first? No, I did read it. Okay. Hail the Iron Age. Yes, sir. Okay. And that is everybody. Okay, cool. All right. So now let's continue on this subject that we were currently on. Carbon, I kind of maybe cut you off a little bit. Did you express everything you wanted to about this trailer?
Yeah, that was it. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it looks like it's following the original style, which was very good of the original Daredevil series.
Okay.
Very dark.
Jared, how do you feel about this?
Pretty similar to Carbon, I think. I truly loved the original series on Netflix. I think it's probably one of the best, certainly the best superhero TV show I've ever watched. Probably one of the better TV shows I've watched in general. I thought it was just fantastic. And I don't get to say this very often, but season 3 was one of the best explorations of like Christianity and morality that I've ever seen.
Yes.
In like this sort of genre of like vigilantism, superheroes, whatever. Like the way that he struggled with his upbringing and struggled with his morality, and I mean, in the way that they used Kingpin as a representation of that for him was just beautiful. It was amazing, and so I'm cautiously optimistic. But at the same time, I have to reconcile the fact that this show canonically exists besides She-Hulk, and that is somewhat repulsive. So, I'm gonna watch it. I have not watched anything on Disney Plus from Marvel. Nothing. I have not watched anything. I will watch this, and I will click away very quickly if they take a misstep, but I'm going to give it a chance because of the respect for the series it's following.
Jared, do you have children, if you don't mind me asking?
I have children, yes.
Okay, so I guess you have Disney Plus for them, I suppose?
I do indeed have Disney
Okay.
Plus for them, yes.
Okay.
It's
That's what I
Princess
figured.
Power Hour at my house. You better believe it.
Speaking of princesses, guys, I saw this meme today. It said, when your girlfriend asks you to treat her like a princess, so you let her drive the car, and it was a picture of a car crashed. I was dying.
Like, hey, legitimate. That's from The Little
Oh,
Mermaid,
no.
right? So, hey.
Oh my god! I remember the
Oh, no.
day that my mother told me, like, Princess Diana's dead. My mother really liked her, and
I loved her.
lots of people did, and except for the Queen. The Queen didn't like her very much.
Oh, fuck the Queen. Have you seen the Have you? No, sorry, Johnny. I apologize. But have you seen the movie
Fighting
called
words.
The Queen? Like years and years ago.
Well, you know
It's
what? I'd
about
like to hear.
how the
I'd
Queen
like to hear what
handled.
Johnny thinks.
We'll get into. I'm sorry. I made a joke and then a tangent. It's my fault, Katie. I'm sorry.
dare you making
I love
a
you,
joke.
Johnny. I'm sorry. I just blurted.
Johnny Scab, king of not King of Kings. That'd be sacrilegious. King of the Scabs and proper rightful ruler of the UK.
Yes.
How do you feel about this trailer here?
It's all right. I like the look of it, to be honest. It's done quite well. It just puts me off that it's bought by Disney.
Mm.
Mhm.
Did you watch the original show?
I'm sure at some point something woke's going to happen in it. It's bound to. If it's Disney, it's bound to get woke. Or there's going to be some scene that's a bit like gay.
So someone in the chat was like, well, what, they didn't make him black and gay? I said, they didn't make him black and gay yet.
That's right. They're going to replace him.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
it looks
chances
all right.
are.
So let
Chances are they're gonna-
let Johnny continue real quick, please.
Sorry, yeah.
I would give it a watch by the looks of it. But I've not watched the series that Carbon Heart watched. I've never seen
Okay.
that.
Johnny, you should check it out if you can. If you can't, I will send it to you, man. It's like Jared was saying, it's one of the best. It's the best comic book show in existence, and might be one of the best shows on TV.
Mm.
Highly recommend to anybody, by the way.
Yes, anybody who can. I actually got like a bootleg version, DVD version of the third season because I couldn't find it anywhere else. So if you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it.
I really need to do
I'll look it
that.
up.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Dr. Ben just got here. Dr. Ben, you'll be after the other people who were here first. Frederick, what do you think about this trailer?
I love this trailer. It reminds me of the old show. I didn't watch season 2 and 3. I watched the first one and I thought it was just absolutely wonderful.
Mhm.
And this one gives me all the good vibes. This gives me hope that we're out of the woke cycle and that they understood what made them lose money and that they've got a good team and they are back on the tracks. Of course, I've always been, accused of being overly optimistic with stuff like this, but I haven't been positive about a trailer for a long time, so I'm kind of relishing in it a little bit. I think this looks really cool. Nothing in the trailer stood out as going wrong, and we're kind of really attentive to that now. And I get the good vibes from the Punisher there, Kingpin. All the players seem to be there, and it's making me look forward to when it's going to come out, and nostalgic for the old show as well.
Thank you. Who's furiously typing out there?
That's me. I have a mechanical keyboard. My apologies.
Okay. Shit, that person's typing fast.
It sounds like I'm writing a treatise whenever I have anything to say.
It's like,
I was just
like a
imagining you making the transcript of what I was saying. So.
That's actually am what I'm doing. Yeah, it helps me to get into it's like a role play thing with Daredevil. Like I'm the stenographer. That's actually what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's what I figured. That is
It
all.
sounded like a scientist, typing in research, pounding away.
That's how I write my comics with authority.
So to conclude, I'm optimistic with no caution. God. I'm just jumping into this one, being hopeful.
Wow. No caution? Wow.
No caution. I think it's
the wind.
worth. I'm going to try it out and see if it's good. I'm getting
Awesome.
good vibes.
Well, good. Katie did was next, right? Oh, because Carbon already spoke. So Katie did. How do you feel about this trailer?
Well, it looks interesting.
I need to replay it.
No, I was watching y'all while I was setting up. It looks interesting. It looks really dark.
Mhm.
That's the impression
It
I'm
is.
getting. Which makes me think it's not woke yet, because if they're gonna go a little dark with it, and if I'm right, they're kind of sticking true to the story, right? They're not changing anything. They're staying true to it. Am I correct?
There are very few deviations from the generally accepted Daredevil lore throughout the original series and probably this one, because the Kingpin being the mayor thing is 100% from the pages. The stuff that they did with Elektra, I think, was pretty spot on. They've done a lot of stuff with the Hand. So, yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, because if it was woke, they wouldn't be so dark. They wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? They would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it looks interesting.
Is that? Oh man, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay. Katie, did you watch the original series?
No, I've seen like clips of it and stuff, but no, I've never had a chance to like sit down and watch through it. But I've seen like clips and previews and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. This seems more dark than what I used to see. You know.
You should watch. You should look up the clip where Punisher visits a pawn shop in season 2.
Oh yeah, yeah,
really
that
good.
in my notes right now, actually.
Yes, yeah.
The hallway scene.
What was which movie was or show was it where Punisher goes to the like that weightlifting place with the Russians? Do you guys remember that?
I think that was the.
I remember the
show.
Russian being the Tom Jane film. The Russian was played by Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
But that was he was in his apartment and Kevin Nash attacked him there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's a
Carmen,
great scene too.
Was that the Punisher show though, where he goes where they're to that gym? Okay.
Yeah, Punisher season 1.
That was
had
a crazy
some great
scene.
scenes also. But also
season 1 was
everybody should
really
look up-
good.
Yeah, the hallway scene from Daredevil season 1 is one of the best scenes in television, which is based off of Old Boy. They were inspired by the scene from the Old Boy movie. But anyway, it was still well done in Daredevil. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. Ben, did you want me to replay the trailer, or did you see it? Have you already seen it? Oh, he's got to hit the vape first, folks. Sorry.
I think you're muted, Dr. Ben.
He's rewatching it right
and
now.
And why are you wearing a Rippaverse hat? You son of a bitch.
I heard he might be an editor.
Is that bad?
Hello.
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better.
Okay.
We need a ward.
Here, we can hear you.
Oh my god.
No wonder I kept like saying,
here. How did you get one of those?
That's awesome. That's fucking sweet.
SAS.
I like it.
I want to see round 2 with She-Hulk. I want to see.
Oh my god!
Remember, like they banged in She-Hulk in the She-Hulk.
Yes, and he became the first man to ever be ashamed of a booty call and walked away in shame.
Ew, are you serious?
I really wish I wasn't.
I want to see like Daredevil and She-Hulk team up to fight Kingpin.
Okay, we're gonna move on from this subject.
All right, we're gonna mute Dr. Ben.
No, but Doctor,
this one from the Rippaverse? Thanks, jeez.
I know, right?
You represent them all right now, obviously.
He joined the
this,
Rippaverse
Solari and
became
Gyra?
retarded. How did that happen?
Solari eats paste.
Canon. The She-Hulk and Daredevil, that was canon. That was the most recent canon with Daredevil. With
I'm disgusted to say that you're correct.
Don't
yes.
use that word.
and
canon.
Also,
yeah, I fucking hate that word. Because there's
Initially,
motherfuckers who will be like, "Oh, well, I mean, it's canon that Falcon became Captain America." It's like, no, everything after 2011 is not canon. It doesn't fucking count.
It's been stricken from the record.
I got one.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
She-Hulk.
When I buy Marvel one day, I will strike it all from the record, all of it. And I will put the names of all the people who wrote that shit. I will write a whole comic. And at the back of it, it'll be, these things are struck from the canon, and these are the people you have to blame for it. Now write all of their fucking names on there.
I like seeing Patrick get pissed off a little bit.
I'm sorry.
I mean, Marvel was a really
Tell us how you
easy
really
thing
feel.
to get pissed off about, you know?
It's true.
It's, they only took my favorite things in the whole world and raped them. It's it's not a big deal.
Like Jennifer Walters turning into She-Hulk because of just a drop of the Hulk's blood dripping onto her is also canonly proven by the second Hulk movie, because if you'll remember at the beginning, Bruce Banner cut his finger, and a little drop went into the bottles in the bottling factory he was working at illegally. Illegal migrant worker in some sort of shithole third world country. That's Bruce Banner for you, dodging.
So you
justice.
loved the She-Hulk show. Is what you're saying, Dr. Ben.
I think he's saying that it's canonical that Stan Lee became a Hulk because it only took a little drop for She-Hulk to become a Hulk.
Yeah, right.
He died after he drank that, didn't he? He went to the hospital.
He was
Not
admitted
only
for
that,
gamma poisoning.
He signed a bunch of books with his DNA, which would now have Hulk DNA. Do you know how much they could be worth now?
I don't, but I want to find out.
God.
Oh my God! I was just kind of hoping, that the conversation wouldn't derail itself when I asked you what your opinion was, Dr. Ben.
I got a stick too. I got a new stick.
Oh my God! We'll look at your stick later. That's what. Fuck! I shouldn't have said that. Oh my God!
Is that the after party? Because I might have to leave.
Yeah.
Let's move on from Dr. Ben. I think we
Let's
should
move on. I'm gonna try to catch up with the chat here. California might go red after those LA fires. People are pissed. Lol, it's already red/orange.
Yeah.
Get it? Because fire is anyway.
It's fire.
When was the last time the French posed a threat to anyone? They pose a threat to their own citizens. That's for sure. We'll take the western part. You guys can keep Trudeau and.
I refuse to live in the same country as Justin Trudeau. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that.
Let's see. Free Johnny Scab. Why he's not? Oh, he's off the thing now.
We're gonna send Trudeau to Greenland. That's the plan.
Yeah, let's send him to Greenland, with Greenland being a special place where he doesn't come back.
Oh my God. In Minecraft, naturally.
Yeah, Minecraft. It's very green in Minecraft.
It is very green.
Greenland is the new Minecraft.
Free Paul and Dale. Yes, I see what you guys are saying now. Free them from the, they could move here, Just saying. Chuck Reardon. You see, we have all these people moving into to America, and none of them are people we want here, but we want people like Dale and Paul and Johnny. You know what I mean? And Peter Gilmore. I'm sure Peter would never leave UK. He seems like a UK till you die kind of guy. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to ask.
I respect that patriotism, though. I truly do.
I don't. We'll see. I'll have to ask him. Chuck says, "We'll see. We'll see who buys all the land. That land, Skeleton Core Comics. I love that he's doing that." Salty says, "Jared is a dirty hooker face." Wow.
Damn.
Jared, would you like to respond to this?
I'm already making enemies. It's unbelievable.
You've had enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Getting haters is a good sign because they usually buy your books to hate read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's fair. That
means you're doing something right.
Right.
Hate reading, a famous pastime of independent comic book lovers.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
And my dirty hooker face, I mean a rad. And by dirty hooker face, I mean a rad lad. Okay. Welcome, Salty. Thank you for coming here, man.
He's awesome.
Is that the Salty?
That is the Salty.
Oh,
the Sean Salter.
The Salty.
Yep. I thought you were a fake Salty, but you're actually the real Salty.
It depends on how much he insults me. The less he insults me, then the less likely it is the real Salty.
Right.
The more. Yeah,
Find out.
He's a bro. He's a cool guy.
Salty's got he's a very talented individual. He's very good at visual art, at drawing, and he's also got a way with words that I think people underestimate. You know what I mean? He sometimes will post things that are like, "Wow, this guy, he's got a real."
Do you have you? I don't want to derail too much, but have you seen all the different things that he did when he was in marketing?
I haven't seen any of it.
Dude worked on. He put together the marketing for freaking Borderlands, for Batman Arkham City, for the Darkness and its sequel, tons of stuff. Deadpool, yeah, he worked. He did a ton of stuff in marketing, which is really cool. So the fact that he went from marketing to then doing creative comic book work is incredible. But he's done a lot of stuff in media.
I've seen his covers. His covers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys like that who used to work in doing, like Ripoff Verse, for instance. He used to do a lot of like stuff with cinema.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
And now he's here, and it's awesome. And I don't have any connection to Ripoff Verse whatsoever. That's a little spoiler alert.
Is there a Patrick Quinlan puppet in the works?
I can neither confirm nor deny such a statement.
That would be fucking
Ooh.
sick. That would be awesome.
Yes.
Immortal Rising comic book, and if there was a puppet, he wouldn't be gay. Just so you guys know.
You could use him
Okay.
to
So
sing
there is
songs.
no puppet.
You son of a
Oh,
bitch.
nice, Frederick.
Oh my lord.
The nerd.
Ooh.
I should kick you.
Johnny, what were you saying?
I said you should get the puppet to sing songs and do little shows where Patrick sings through the
Oh
puppet.
my god, I hadn't even considered that, Johnny.
I think it'd be great if we had a Johnny Scab puppet that would sing with the Patrick puppet.
Oh hell yeah!
that would be
It'd be really
amazing,
easy
too.
too. You just have to have like
Yeah.
a gas mask on a puppet, you know?
Now I
Yeah.
actually kind of want a Johnny Scab puppet more than I want a me puppet.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd
dude.
take the Ripperverse a lot of work to make me. I reckon it'd be a lot of detail.
He would have to get a high resolution picture of your mask. Yeah, that's for
He
sure.
could do it. He's
He could
good.
do
He could do it.
The
Johnny
easy part would
should-
be writing cunt on the forehead.
Johnny, you should totally have plushies with cunt on the forehead.
Yes. Your kid
buy
starts
one.
playing with it, not knowing what cunt means. They're just like, "Oh, I love my Johnny Scab."
Jeez.
I would buy one, but then I would hide it from my kids. And then, like,
Yeah.
what if my kids find be like, "Mommy, what is this word? Nothing, dear. Just don't worry about it."
It's the
No,
new
it'd be
Elmo.
worse than that,
I'd have
Katie.
to sell it like little censored versions, just with the word crossed out.
You'd
Yeah,
say like crumb.
You'd pull the string. And
we're
the
gonna do Comicsgate Commandos plushies. That's gonna be in the works soon
Oh my
for
god.
all of us.
I want a hideously deformed Funko Pop personally.
Oh, that'd be good too.
Yeah.
We'll do that once we sell out and become famous. Salty. Katie coming in hot. Let's see here. Is
Coming in
Johnny
hot.
is Johnny Scab just salad finders all grown up?
Salad
I don't-
fingers.
Fingers.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
he
sorry.
means fingers. Yeah.
What's that?
Salad fingers. I like spoons.
That is an old animation on the old web that was made by Tim Burton, I believe. Some 2D vector type animation with a character who had literal salad fingers. It was the creepiest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, back in the
I like
early days.
spoons.
Is it? Is this it?
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that later.
11 years ago.
I'm gonna watch that later. This is true. Katie did says get a free comic, Morningstar Chronicles by Frost Comics. That's very true. We're gonna get into that in just a second here. G Dash says it's on Disney Plus, the Daredevil show, the Netflix show version. Squid says so long as they don't pull a CW and put lines of dialogue that literally say #feminism, it might be all right.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh. Johnny says, remember to like and share. Don't be stingy. Thank you, Johnny. Chuck Reardon, my bad. Didn't catch that chat. A little seriously, though. It's looking like another land grab. Oh, they're talking about Canada. I heard they're supposed to have a smart city in that Palisades region by 2030 or something. Well, it can't be a smart
Correct.
city if it's got Democrats in it, can it?
But
It's
Tish.
gonna be a
Thank you.
15-minute city. What's his name? Newsom already said it on air.
Yeah,
So
Such an ass.
they're making the land available for like apartment buildings where they couldn't before. So
yeah, no, it's gonna be fucking. It's gonna turn into Judge Dredd, basically, like the cities that
Yes.
exist in
Yes.
Judge Dredd.
Mega
That's
City
what it's gonna
1.
be.
That'd be cool.
Be
Yeah.
amazing.
I wouldn't mind that if England turned like Judge
Yeah.
Dredd. I'd be in like
And
a
I'll be-
street gang, I reckon.
I'll be Judge Dredd. I'll go there and I'll play Judge Dredd. Fucking on a motorcycle. over
You'll
there.
bear that burden, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to
we
fight
got-
me, Carbon, because I'd be the leader of like a proper criminal gang. Sorry, Al.
Yes.
That would be
That'd
great.
be amazing. Johnny, you would instantly become the leader of any criminal gang that you joined.
Yeah.
that would be such a cool comic, though.
All you have to do is take a brick to his head. You know what I mean? You'd be
Yeah,
like,
that's a good-
what? Who's this cunt coming in here trying to take my power from me? And you'd be like,
It's like Mad Max in L.A.
Yeah, it'll be like the Dark Knight Returns. With the leader of the Johnny Scab, the leader of the New Mutants.
Oh my god. Oh man. Let's see here.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Wrangler.
Wrangler says, "Hey, greetings, hail and stuff." Hail.
How you
Wrangler.
doing,
Thank you
Wrangler?
for coming on, man. Skeleton Core is looking with the eyes. I don't even know what this reference is. Clapping incredible cheeks. What is that? What are we talking about there? He says, "Hey, Wrangler," and then his next statement is clapping incredible cheeks. So I don't know.
Talking about the She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Incredible.
I get it now. Okay.
I choose to misunderstand.
Skeleton Core makes a Stalker reference. That game is amazing. A man called Plush. Hello, sir. He says Clone Saga was canon too, and it sucked. I mean, you don't have to consider it canon. Like, I don't know. I feel like, well, okay, that's a longer conversation about
It is a longer look. I'm
how
not saying
Marvel
it's
has
good, but I'm saying I'd
diluted
take
the
it over a
universe.
lot of the stuff that they do now.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
But there is this. That was the beginning of this whole multiverse, multiple versions of superheroes bullshit that led to the watering down of the entire, all of the characters and all of their storylines and all of their backgrounds. And it's just, that's a great conversation though to have. I'm going to remember that for later because I actually really want to talk about how Marvel went from being like having one of the coolest universes in comic books ever to having the lamest universe. Like, I like DC's universe more than I like Marvel now, which is, I've never said that in my life. So the Squid says, all right, what was worse? What Disney did to Marvel or what CW did to Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends, and Black Canary? I don't care about DC, so I don't like, it doesn't bother me, but you guys might. So what do you guys think?
I mean Marvel, because like the Arrow, these were all shows, and Supergirl was never great. It wasn't bad. Legends was never great. It wasn't bad. Like, so all the characters that they didn't have a great starting point. The strongest was Arrow, and Arrow was inconsistent, where they would have really great episodes, really great seasons, and then they'd nosedive again. Flash is one of the worst written TV shows that's ever existed. Like, even I love the first season, and I'll defend the first season to an extent because he's learning his powers. But then after that, there's only so many times that Barry Allen lets someone get away before I'm going to be like, okay, you're retarded. I can't watch this. This is stupid.
Well, I mean, yeah, if he's the Flash,
He's the
let anybody
Flash.
get away.
Yeah, he's the Flash. Oh, where'd he go? I don't know, idiot. You could look before they can take a step through the whole city.
Look who we have, ladies and gentlemen. Survive Infinity. He says, "Hail Comicsgate. What's up, man? How you doing?" Chuck Reardon said, "Now there are hundreds of desperate comic guys licking Stanley's signature because of your theory about the gamma radiation."
Yeah.
Oh man,
Breaking open slabs, licking his face picture. All the other comics, they're still slab increase in value, and the non-licked comics.
You will thank me for activating all the Hulks.
It'll definitely be very entertaining.
Sleeping Psychopathy says, and I quote, "I got afternoons."
Right.
Yeah,
Did you
something
just have a
happened.
stroke, Sleeping Psychopathy? He says, "Keck, lol," and she says, "Allah, I dropped my phone while I was cooking."
Wow,
that's great.
Right.
Skeleton Core says, "I believe the Canadian tradition is to set Justin Trudeau adrift on an iceberg." If only.
I could work with that.
Oh my God, Squid says, "At least you're in your kitchen." Damn it. We got that. Yes, thank you guys. Hit the like button, please. Salty's Ride and Die cover is. It is. It very much is. Salty is a very talented man.
Elephant cover.
Danny Phantom.
Cover.
Danny Phantom is the reason why I got a Paramount Plus subscription. Damn, Salty. That's fucking rad, dude. Mad respect. Just a weird looking sock. Wait, what's just a weird looking sock?
I think they're talking about the puppet for Johnny.
Yeah, the Johnny Scab puppet.
The Johnny Scab puppet.
So if you
Don't
want
be
to
mean to
plushie
Johnny about that. He's a badass looking sock. How dare you?
I am pretty weird looking. It's all right.
You can't lead a gang without being weird. You got to be aggressively weird.
You got to stab a guy in the eye with a pencil sometimes.
Exactly.
Do you guys know that you can make your own puppets, right? Shut up. No, I can't. Nobody does that.
I
before.
probably couldn't, to be honest.
That sounds like communism.
Yeah, that's right.
We go like Alan Rickman style, a Prince. What is it? The Prince of Thieves. When he says, "I'd rip their heart out with a spoon. I'd use a spoon.
Oh my God.
Gouge their eyes."
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Spoon up or?
Have you ever watched the film Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves?
Yeah, it'll hurt more.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Huh. I saw that.
I haven't, but I
Slumdog
did
Millionaire.
listen to Handsome Jack make a reference to that in Borderlands 2. Does that count?
You should watch it. It's a good film.
Doesn't count.
No, yeah, it is. But it got very violent all of a sudden.
Kind of like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship.
I mean, true, yes.
Let's see here.
Not inaccurate.
Salad fingers is what you see after you take expired DMT.
Yeah, basically.
Oh man. So normal then. Okay, I think I am catching up with the chat here. Time to run to the hills. Run for your lives. You all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility. What's that quote from, Skeleton? I loved Arrow. Shut your whore mouth. Arrow started out great. It fell off towards the middle. Supergirl season 1 was all right. When they decided to take an already strong character and make her gay and nothing else.
Yeah, they were like suddenly lesbians. The show.
All lead females must be
Wait,
lesbian.
are you serious? They made her fucking gay?
No, they made her sister gay.
Jesus Christ.
Her sister, whatever.
The truth is, I think in the coming years, there is a chance that the new
Everyone will
DC
be
and
gay.
Marvel is going to step away from wokeism. I can sense that too, because it's no longer nobody likes it anymore. Everybody being gay, everybody being a fucking ultra liberal,
A person of
far-left.
gender.
They're going to
Yeah, all
come
that
back
shit.
crawling like Mike Zuckerberg and do a Joe Rogan interview.
I
and,
love the
"Yes,
Zuckerberg
We've
rebrand,
always
right?
loved families.
Oh God!
The only thing that
For
I
the
wish he'd been
record-
wearing like flannel or something, or like a baseball cap too, or really complete the
Yeah,
transformation.
he needs to get his ass kicked. You know what should happen?
Well, yes.
Joe Rogan at the end of that show, he should have said, "You know what, Mark, you're doing jujitsu now. Let's do a fucking sparring match right now, me and you." And Joe Rogan should have fucking choked him out as punishment for his fucking past behavior.
There is no punishment that would suit his crime. The idea.
Yeah.
You see, folks. This is okay.
Yeah, Carbon, I want to say you should be Judge Dredd, man.
Correct.
Good,
Yeah,
good
my
at
vote.
making judgments.
This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when people in power, elitists in power, realize that the tide is swaying. They'll start whistling a different tune. Okay? But remember what they said. Remember what they said when COVID was going around. They said, take the vaccine, bend the fucking knee, or we'll take your job. We'll take your ability to go to the grocery store. We'll take your ability to go to the gym. We'll take everything from you unless you bend your fucking knee. Remember that these are the people who said that shit. He was one of those people. I don't give a goddamn if he was taking orders from anybody. You taking orders from somebody, doing as you're told like a little bitch, it does not take away the responsibility of the actions that you undertook to take away people's lives if they didn't bend the knee. He can go fuck himself as long as, and with everybody else who was in that group of people who said, you need to do this or we will destroy you. We will destroy you and we will destroy everybody's opinion about you on social media. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Comply or we'll take away your right to live.
Yeah.
We'll take away your
right.
financial stability. We'll take away your home.
Yes.
We'll put you in jail and we'll take your family from you. Comply or that.
Yeah, they did that to my husband. They told him that what was it, like December 15th, if he didn't get vaccinated and sent it in to show proof that they were going to fire you. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
By the way, wasn't it funny how you had all these companies who did that, who said, You got to get the shot or you're going to get fired. And then the people who didn't, they fired. 2 years later, they go, oh, hey guys, let's all make amends. Bygones be bygones.
Right.
It doesn't matter that we
all
fucking
good.
fired all of you.
Right.
Yeah, we
It was a
fired
hard
all
time
of
for
you
everybody.
motherfuckers. But hey, everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine.
I mean, sure, we made you inject an experimental, untested vaccine into your body at gunpoint, but come on, people make mistakes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Have some grace for us.
Have some grace.
It was a tough time
man.
for everybody.
We need to,
Everyone's suffering.
You know
we
what?
need to remember that
most,
shit. We can't let that go, man.
No.
I'm telling you, we cannot
No.
let that go.
No,
Because when they were in power, they said to you, die or submit. That's what happened. Don't forget that. Don't forget that when they were in power, they said die or submit. Now they're not in power.
Well, you know what's weird? It was my husband works for a big insurance company, so they were already working at home. So I told him, I was like, well, why would they make you take the shot? You guys are at home. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going. He just now, this month, is going back to the office full time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck COVID.
Well, it's to quote Sam Hyde, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny.
Yes. He's
Amy,
100% correct.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If I
Never
can say
forget.
one thing that a province did right in Canada was Alberta, which also has the oil, and it's the good province. I'm not in Alberta, but I can say that. And what the governor of Alberta said, okay, you want us to impose all of these rules for COVID, we'll do it as soon as you isolate the virus and show us which lab it's in. And the government could not provide any of that, and they were the first to start ignoring the mandates.
Wow. They just got away with it?
Yeah, well, the trucker thing was happening at the same time. It was,
that's right.
The truckers were really the catalyst to stop, because it was especially everywhere, but in Canada it was happening.
The most base Canadians ever.
It was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like people were getting dogs so they could get out of their apartments, because you could not leave after 8:00 at night. You could not leave your home. It was fucking pathetic. Like saying to somebody at a dinner, "Hey, I'm having a great time. We're having a great conversation, but I gotta leave now because government says, curfew at 8."
And that's why the Constitution of the U.S. is the most important thing there is, man. The Constitution, the first fucking 10 amendments, is everything. And everybody, let me tell you who your friends are, or who your enemies are, rather. Everybody who opposed the first 5 amendments over the last few years, like the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, free speech, and they're still doing it to this day, those are your fucking enemies. All right? It all boils down to the Constitution first and foremost.
Yeah, they have all doubled down on, like, you can't call yourself a progressive or a leftist if you don't agree with this. And, like, they're already starting a whole new bunch of, like, they're just what is it, Vox Day, who said they always lie.
SJWs always lie. Yeah, he wrote a book about it, actually. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But that's the beauty of it, is that it's just like it's proven true because they continually
that's cool.
Do the same thing over and over.
Son of Watts says, my son did some work for Sam Hyde. That is cool. Very cool. The Squid said, I'm a truck driver. The unions threatened to strike if the vaccine mandates went into effect. Immediately canceled the requirement by the feds. Yep. See, okay, and it's a good point to bring up. Ladies and gentlemen, it may not seem like it because you live in this system, this incredibly, inordinately complex system that is purposefully complex in order to essentially keep spellbound the people who are, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but too unintelligent to understand what's going on. And that's a large portion of people. You have the power. Like, the power is in your hands, the people. Because think about it. Every single person, every single statist pig who asks you to do something or tells you to do something, they're one person. And the only power they have is that they've convinced a bunch of other people, or rather important people, like, say, the military, to support them and back them up. Now, we are all the people. So if we, the people, decide that we're not into something, then that's how it is. These politicians, they can't do anything to you yet. Now, obviously, there's talk about drones and, gravitational propulsion systems and things like that, which will make a person God. Let's be honest. But until that point, we, the people, have the power. And if we say no, then the answer is no. And that's really all it comes down to. I speak that way because I live in America, and in America, we are allowed to have weapons that will protect us from the government, whereas in other countries, they don't. So in other countries, it is a lot harder, I will admit. But at the same time, other countries, there's more of you than there are government pigs. Just saying. Let's see here.
We should cut to Rammstein's "We Are All Living in America."
Below the average intelligence is still 50% of the population. Yep. Grey Wolf says, I never thought I'd live to see a sorrier piece of shit than Jimmy Carter. I joined the United States Air Force when he was president. He cut our pay, capped our oil wells, shut down our refineries, etc. I hate fucking Democrats. You mean you fucking hate Democrats? I mean, everybody would hate fucking Democrats. That would be gross. But anyway, Tornadoes. Patrick is up and coming. Dude puts on a good show. Stick around. CG Commandos is on every. Who? Tornadoes. Wait a minute. Who? Oh, Tornadoes. Wait a minute. Tornadoes. I didn't. What am I doing? I missed this person speaking. Ah, shame. Yeah. Skeleton Core Comics. This channel.
What the one above that one was?
Are you related to CG? New to me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. I've been. Hello, Tornadoes. I'm sorry I didn't see you before. I really do apologize for that.
Yo, Patrick. Let's look at Frost's comic, bro. I feel like
you're right.
We've been here for a while.
You're correct.
That's okay. I'm enjoying the conversation. That's all good.
I should say I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tornadoes. I didn't see your comment before. That's why I didn't say hello to you. Hello. Yes, I'm Comicsgate. I've been Comicsgate since 2019, although I was lurking for a while. And now I have a book that I'm showing people, so it's all about the past year and a half or so. I've been getting into the social media side of things. But anyway, thank you for being here, Tornadoes. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, Jared.
I'm Frostworks too. It's a nickname of mine, so it's all good.
So I've got your website here, ladies and gentlemen, which I will share in just a second here. So this is so when you go to the website, you can come here and you can do all kinds of things here. But you can click to get a free comic right here. You just put in your email and your name, and it gets sent to you, and then you click on it and you can read the free comic. But I'm going to let you, Jared, talk about your comic, Morningstar Chronicles, here for a second here. I'm just going to be quiet.
All right. Well, thanks for giving me the chance to talk about it. It's my first solo comic. Actually, I guess it's kind of my first comic. I actually did write a story for a book called Out of Obscurity, which is an anthology comic that was being put together by Arrow Comics. And I actually somehow managed to get in the book, and it has Aaron C. from Immortal Rising, Hojo, lots of other people are in that book, and I made the cut. Go figure. So I have a story in there, and I'm very excited for that one to hit backers' hands. But we ran into an issue with it where one of the people who was contributing, they just vanished off the face of the earth, and we were kind of scrambling for content to replace it with. But the good part is that I got to add this comic that you see here will actually be in that book for free. So now you can get a physical copy if you back that book too. So that's cool. But that was a little bit of a backstory about me as a writer. This was something I wanted to do on my own because I got, I'm really kind of, I think I'm very similar to the story that you told very briefly about yourself, Patrick, where I lurked for a very long time looking for alternative media. I've just been so dissatisfied with mainstream entertainment for a really long time now that I've started to look for alternatives, alternative comics, alternative shows and movies and stuff. And I was following a lot of people on Twitter that were in indie comics, and someone put out like a request for writers to write scripts for his comic book universe. And I was like, oh God, I've always wanted to write comics. You know, can I take a stab at it? So I put in a kind of like a, I guess like a resume of sorts, and, you know, wrote up a script, and the guy loved it. But the problem was, and, you know, I know, hard to believe anyone would do this in any comics. The problem was is that he bit off more than he could chew, and he was nowhere near like needing multiple scripts and publishing multiple different comics all at the same time. Just wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So problem was I still had like the writing bug had bitten me again, and I was like, well, I still want to write comics, you know, so what do I do? And I was talking to a friend of mine, the guy who made the trailer for the comic Animane. And I was talking about an idea I had for a comic a long time ago. And he was like, well, you should write that because I would totally read it. And I thought, well, say no more, fam. You know, and that's when I brought it back out of the refrigerator and, you know, brushed the ice off. And, you know, that's when we brought it back. And I changed it a little bit because my life had changed so much I've been working on this thing. Like I had worked on it like over 10 years ago. And so the things that like I experienced that led to me writing what I wrote then and what I've, you know, lived through now. I reflected that in the book with changes like aging people up, you know, making them a little bit older, things like that. So that's how I brought it back. And I wrote one version of it, and I got all the way to production, and I had someone who I trust read it, and he was like, hey, this sucks. I was like, oh my God, you're right. Oh, what do I, you know, because the problem that I ran into is that I tried to do too much and too quickly. And so I ended up with a book that was shorter than it should have been, tried to cram too many things into it. And it was just a frantic mess. And so, you know, having someone that I could trust and say, hey, you know, this isn't as good as it could be. He said, it's better than I saw him. I kid you not, but it's not as good as it could be. I said, okay, you know what? That's fair. So what I did, and I'm so glad I was able to do this, and I got really lucky. There was, I had two plots that were kind of going back and forth. So I took them and I split them apart completely, and I made them two separate books. And so the more action heavy plot is the one that you have here with Morningstar Chronicles #1. And it's a story that explores explores is wrong. More like it introduces two characters, a vigilante who's an incredibly important character for the overall story, and the villain who is the woman in the purple dress. Her name is Saska, and I named her before the Saska sisters were a thing. So
That's amazing.
I refused to change it, but
please don't.
Does she have a twin?
No, she does not. She does have sisters, but they're none of them are twins. However, she is unashamedly evil. So I introduced them in this book, and I wanted to like invest in myself in a way. Like realistically, I don't want to dox myself, but I have 3 kids. Okay. I have 3 kids. I have a wife. I have a mortgage. I can't really throw a lot of money into comics. So like a 60+ page book, I cannot afford to do that over the course of a year or two. But over the course of a year or two, I can afford, you know, a 28-page book. I can do that. And I wanted to do something to show my skill as a writer, to show what me and the artist that I found through a Christian creator, which was great too, what we could do together and give it to people as a way of building up my readership. Because like, I want to give you something so that I can earn your trust. You know, I don't want to ask for your money like without giving you something that you can actually sink your teeth into and say, okay, yeah, I trust this guy. I see what he can do. And so that was the idea behind this, is to give it out for free. And if you get on the mailing list to get the comic, then when I don't spam. I've done a couple of fun things. Like I sent out some art for Happy New Year. I sent out a poll, like who won the fight, you know, but I haven't sent out a whole lot of stuff because I don't want to bombard people's inboxes. But then when the campaign launches, I can say, hey, you know, first 48 hours, here's a coupon code if you back, you know, and let the people know that they're, you know, they can back if they want to get a bigger book. And so I got the story that I split into 2. I now have this one here is free. And then the other part of it, I expanded into a much larger, complete story. That's going to be the 64-page book. and I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to have some really, really great action in the finale, but it's going to have so much intrigue and stuff that's a lot of it based around the villain that you meet in this book. And I think that people, if they read this and they enjoy it, I think they'll really love coming back. And that's the whole idea behind it.
Yes, it is. And I can say, as somebody who's read this, the free comic, that I'm going to back the book when it comes out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Do you
Thanks for
have,
reading it.
for the folks at home, do you have an estimated like time when you launch the campaign? Are you going to do a crowdfunding campaign, I assume?
Yes. So I wanted to build up as many readers as I could before I launched the campaign. I have kind of an arbitrary goal. I'd like to get to 200 or 300, just because the metrics that I've seen on when you sign up for campaigns, for instance, on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, usually you'll see about 10% of a return on people who sign up to be notified when it launches. My thought process is that a mailing list would be somewhat similar. So I figure the more people I have on the mailing list, the better chances I have of having a strong start to the campaign while I'm doing all of the actual campaigning. I would like to launch in summer or fall, just depending on how successful I am with building the readership. Once the campaign starts, I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 months, just depending on how things go. If I can get all of the funding I need, I would like to just do it on Fund My Comic, because I think Fund My Comic is a really, really important platform. Being anti-censorship and being embedded in the community that we have. So I would like to stay there. If I have to go elsewhere, I will. I want to fund the book more than anything else. So I'm not going to turn down an opportunity to make money elsewhere if I need it. But if I can stay on Fund My Comic, I totally will. And then once I've already talked to my art team about this, we anticipate being able to do a 60-page book probably in 6 to 8 months, but we'll probably extend it to probably 10 months just in case, because this is my first big book. This is my first book at all, and then this would be my second one, and the first one that we would do of that size, a volume of pages. But talking to my inker, no, my letterer is lightning fast. That guy can get stuff done same day. But the artist is very fast, and the colorist is very fast when she has a deadline to work with. So I think that as long as we have a clear deadline, we'll be able to work and get it taken care of. Because I don't want to, I come from it from like a consumer side. I've backed a lot of books, and I know, like, personally, as long as I've had people who run campaigns, as long as they've communicated with me, like, Ben Dunn had this happen once. He had like a truck of his comics just went missing, and he's like, yeah. So, and he sent a note out to the backers, and I was like, well, I can't be mad at that. Like, what are you gonna do? So, like, but when people tell you like that, I don't mind waiting. But like, being a consumer minded person, because I've been lurking and backing for so long, I don't want to take any longer than we have to, but I'm still going to do my best to just, make sure that there's clear communication, but I still want to, try and crank it out. So that's why it's been important for me to talk to the art team leading up to it, to make sure that we have everything on the same page, and we know how everything would go production wise.
That's good. Yeah. And especially, I would say for us, just guys, people just starting out, you've got to give hard deadlines for things so that people can learn to trust you. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. If I come out here and praise God, I get backed, if that happens and I get the funding, the last thing I want to do is take advantage of that in any capacity. I want to take that trust that people have put in me, and I want to give them something that, not only they're going to be like, hey, I got it on time, or I got it within the deadline, but they really did a great job. I really liked the story, or I really liked the art, or I really liked this cover, or whatever. Just taking that trust and nurturing it instead of taking advantage of it.
Yes,
very important.
And striking while the iron is hot too. I mean, if you're advertising for your comic and you're saying, guys, you should buy this comic, you should be excited about this comic, and people go, yes, I'm going to do that, and they type in there and they give you their money. You want to give them that comic as soon as you can, so that they're still hyped about it by the time they get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get it and it's good, and they're like, oh, I'm even more hyped for the next one. So
exactly. Yeah, 100%. That's good.
So hey, I've got the trailer here. I'm going to show the trailer.
Oh, please do. Yes, that'd be great.
I've watched it myself. I have to take a piss real quick. Obviously, the folks at home know this is Patrick. He's always taking pisses. Or maybe they don't know that. I always take pisses, guys. See, I said that, and then we dropped down by 4 viewers. God damn it.
Yeah, you can just play the video and go piss without telling anyone.
No, he has to.
No, I have to be honest with people at home.
Before the video, let me ask you, Jared, about something that you were on the page you just had up. You had the menu option, get the first issue for free. And could you explain to the audience again, like, how that works, where like if you sign up, you get the first issue for free?
Yes. So the way that it works is it's basically a mailing list sign up. So you go to frostcomics.com. The first option there is to join the mailing list. And if you join the mailing list, that's where you get the free comic. You go in, you pop in your email address. You do get an email that it confirms that you want to be signed up. The idea, I used Kit. It used to be, I don't know, it's Kit now, it's kit.com. But the way that they explained it in their, tutorial, I guess, was that you don't want people to be able to sign people up against their will, or you don't want people to sign up accidentally. So the idea is you sign up, you get a confirmation email, you click confirm, boom, you get the comic. And then the comic comes to you through a Dropbox link. You can download it, you can just read it, whatever. But for this campaign, my build my readership campaign, I wanted people to be able to own the comic. So it's an actual PDF that you can download, you can keep it. Once I start the campaign for the funded book, I'm probably going to take away the PDF as the freebie. I will have it on Global Comics so people can still read it for free, but I wanted to reward people who, put the trust in me to, try out the comic and everything now.
Yeah, I wanted to emphasize that because that's something that some people might have missed. That's huge. Like, because I understand what you're doing by like starting the engagement with this new project. So like everybody should sign up for this. Like, there's no reason to not sign up for this.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, but there's a reason why, if you want to tell me, please tell me, because I've had amazing feedback that's been critical, that has helped me, like in ways like, if you guys know RJ William used to do like combat sports, and he was actually breaking down like panels as from the perspective of someone who has been in combat sports. So he was talking like, well, here somebody wouldn't do an elbow strike; they would do a punch. And he's talking about, I was like, that's awesome. Like the fact that someone could actually explain that in a way that I can take that and I can use that to, write better action scenes in the future. I've had a lot of stuff like that where people, even if they like it, they have really good criticism that I can take and just, I can be better with that. Mm-hmm. So let me know if you don't like it. Please read it, and if you love it, let me know. If you don't, let me know why, because it'll just help me be better as a writer.
It's
all right, I'm gonna play this trailer. Man. Shut up, Carbon. I need to go to. God damn it.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Play this trailer real quick, and I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
You should bring your phone to the bathroom, Patrick, so you can continue streaming while you're there.
Nick, you ready, man?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Tell me you can trust me.
Improv.
Don't forget our intel. Something about her is not normal.
You can trust me.
You love me.
You want to make me happy.
I know your hands are filthy, and I know about your tricks. The only thing I don't know is what you are.
You die for me.
But I'll figure that out.
Don't disappoint me.
Once I haul you out of here.
Who did you lose to make you this angry?
Not human. What are you?
I'm so much more.
Very cool, man.
Thank you. Shout out to Anime and Sparkster. He was the guy who he actually voiced Guru at the start and put together the trailer. Napster was the guy who voiced Ghost, who's the protagonist, and Callie. I don't remember. She has some crazy name. I just call her Callie. Callie was the voice for Sasuke, and I would really, I'm like long term. Hopefully later this year, maybe. I would love to do like a motion comic and have them voice the lines and stuff for the full comic. I think that would be really fun to have on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No,
motion comics. I feel like are. Go ahead, Katie.
Oh no, go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Carbon. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
I was just gonna say, yeah, motion comics. I feel like they're used in trailers, which is great, but I feel like they're underutilized because
I know,
like
I completely agree with you.
It's a good way to like get people engaged in your comic, even if it's for free on YouTube. Just get some pages on there with a motion comic, right, with some voiceover and like
it's so fun to hear the character's voice, right?
Yeah, it pulls you in. Yeah, so I think that's a good way to go. Yeah, for sure. But Katie, yeah, what you were gonna say?
Well, piggyback off of you, Carbon Heart. No, I always say for a normie like me, like when I see a really good trailer, it helps me visualize like, okay, what is this book that you're selling me? And yeah, the voices do help because when I'm reading the comic, I can hear those voices when I'm reading their words, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to say too, from an earlier what we talked about, and I know I mentioned this to you when you were on my show, but I think it's a really, really great idea that you're doing it for free.
Thank you.
Like we mentioned earlier, you're building, you're letting us trust you. You know, like, oh, he's going to do this for free, and we don't have to pay anything. Okay, well, I mean, why not? Let me check it out, and it's a way to build trust with future backers, and honest criticism too from people. That way, when you get ready to launch your comic, you've got everything you need. You've heard the backers and what their thoughts are on it. So no, I think it's great, and I think your model for people who are starting out writing comic books is a perfect. Well, I'll say it's a perfect model. If you are able to do it because that there's a lot of people that say, oh, crowdfunding's a scam. You invest this book and you'll never get your book, and they never stick to deadlines. It's like, no, let me show you. Like I'm willing to give this to you for free, so I can tell you can trust me, and that's something you don't have to worry about. And I think that's what helps community look good as well when people start kind of doing that more. Even if they're not doing their first comic free, just the fact that, like, for instance, Patrick, I know he's good on his deadline. I know Justin Belmont and so many others. So yeah, if people can stick to that, I think it will help community build a nice resume and credit, if that makes any sense.
I would say too that if you're Ethan Van Sciver, John Mayland, Shane Davis, although Shane Davis isn't really in this group of people, you can take a longer time on your book and people won't be upset about it. If you're a new guy, you need to do it right away. And you need to give people it right away. Not because not because you're not talented enough for people to wait on you necessarily, although that might be true. What's more important is to just give people what they asked for and what they paid for as soon as possible. And a lot of people seem to like that. Just doesn't seem to occur to them. So like, I don't know how people work like that, because for me, it's always my whole life. It's always been like, somebody gives you money for something, you need to give them the service or product that they asked for instantly. Now, I don't like calling comic books products, but to that end, like, have your book ready. It's one of those things where like if we're talking about Rippaverse, for instance, which is something that Dr. Ben is intimately acquainted with nowadays. I think what happened there was that they were like, hey, who wants this product? And people said, we want this product. And they go, okay, we'll produce it starting now. and then they produced it really quick and made garbage and then shipped it to people. What you, not you, Frost, but what all of us, all of us, smaller
Yes.
creators need to do is already have it ready to go by the time we start talking to people. Because we don't have the luxury of being like, hey, we have, we can rest on our laurels. We have all these achievements from past things that we've done that you can know that we're going to do something really good for you. Nobody knows anything about us. They've never heard our names before. So we have to do a good job of giving them what they asked for as soon as we can. And I'm not saying it has to be right away, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, when I tell people that I'm a nobody, I'm not putting myself down. I'm just realistically assessing my position right now as a creator. And I'm only 1 or 2 rungs on the ladder, but I still have climbed 1 or 2 rungs on the ladder. I went from not running a comic to writing a comic to writing another comic, and then I got hired to write a comic. And I have a low page rate right now, but I wrote a comic, and that's. Yeah. So you're going to see me. I wrote a comic for Rebound. Rebound's number 2 is coming out soon by Tyson Rock.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. I wrote a side story for his next campaign, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys check it out when it comes out.
That's cool. Well, look, man, you're already a rung above me. You've been asked to write something for somebody. So I
oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that's what helps with the free comic, though, is you can get people, who are wanting to make a comic, but they're just not good writers. Well, when they read your comic for free, you're like, damn, this is actually pretty good. Maybe I need to hit them up. I think your model's really good, and I'm so excited you're doing it, because I believe when it becomes successful, it's going to set a great example for new small creators.
Yeah. I hope so, because I genuinely did put a lot of time into thinking about how to do this, because I've seen a lot of different things. I've been watching for like other people, like writers and artists and everything. I've been in the community for for about 3 or 4 years now, watching people do different approaches, and I've seen people have success, and I've seen people have failed, and some people, it's like, how in the world did that not succeed? Because it was really great. And other like, well, what was this guy's trick? And I've tried to learn as much as I could. So, and this is the technique I came up with, and I went to a couple people with it, and I said, hey, what do you think about giving away a comic for free? And they're like, yeah, I've never seen anyone do that before. And I thought, okay, cool, so it's at least different.
Yeah.
Well, Jared, it's funny that you say that, because I have seen that recommended specifically by some veteran comic professionals, where they said, if you're going into the independent space, it's not a bad idea to start out by just creating some pages that you're doing as a web comic.
Yeah,
that's for free first, because that way you can actually build an audience with the free pages. So it might sound crazy when you say it out loud, but when you look at it that way, though, as like, imagine having a Twitter page that builds up an audience with some free pages, a web comic being posted like gradually. You build up an audience there, and then you release a full-blown comic. You already have an audience. So,
well, one of the things that's really exciting.
It's a good strategy.
Thank you. The global comics approach that I mentioned too, I think would be viable, because they recently integrated crowdfunding right into the comic pages. So if you have a crowdfunding campaign going, you can link it next to the comic that you're reading on Global Comics. So if you're reading it there and you're like, this is great, boom, you can go right to the campaign page, and you can back the people who are making the next issue, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That is a great idea.
Like someone suggested it to him, and Chris, the creator of Global Comics, he's like, that's a fantastic idea. Boom, did it immediately, implemented it the next day. So like the fact that he is that dialed into the community, and he took a suggestion like that and added it, Fund My Comic, Indiegogo, whatever, that links to it, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Great idea.
That it is. DJ Simon, my brother Daniel, says it's an investment. Burn the boats.
Right.
I have to be honest with you. Daniel, what does that mean, burn the boats? I don't even know that reference.
Burn
You can't retreat when you arrive on the land that you're. Yeah, you can't retreat. You can't turn back if the boats are burned down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly yes. Yeah.
So I do want to shout out the cover here. This is a cover that is an homage to Hybrids by Luke Stone. Luke Stone, the FMC guy. So he actually he got Kanan White to draw a cover for Hybrids, and I liked the cover, and I said, "How about you impersonate Kanan White, and you draw the cover based on that for me?" And so he drew. These are all antagonists to Morningstar, the book that's hopefully coming this summer or fall. And you'll see Saska's up there on the right. So he
is
took
that her sister there on the left there?
Yes, that's one of her sisters. And those are both her brothers as well. The giant is an actual giant. I don't want to give away too much, but I'm happy to talk about the fact that like the superpowers I know this is kind of like becoming more common in indie comics, but they're half angels, kind of like Dante from Devil May Cry. So all of the superpowers and everything come from like biblical apocrypha, from like the Book of Enoch, if you like biblical apocrypha.
Baby.
So the giant in the back, the giant in the back is like Goliath, right? And so he's like he's a giant. So
it's new genetic mutations. Like instead
from
the Marvel days,
genetic mutation. Yeah. You could look at it that way because they're not completely human.
That's right. Yeah.
It is. You're right, though. That is becoming a more.
It's very common. I think, and this is not a criticism of the indie community. I have been shocked by this in a good way. But as I've gotten to know so many people, and this includes you, Patrick, I am blown away by how many Christians are in the indie comic community. Like they're all over the place, and I think it makes sense because. I mean, how many people have been like have felt disenchanted or upset with the direction of Marvel or DC, and it seems like as they take characters, especially traditionally Christian characters, like God help him, Nightcrawler, what they've done with him, people are just kind of disgusted and they kind of abandon it. So it makes sense to me. Like I know people who were repulsed by what they've done to Captain America or the X-Men, and they said, "Oh, I'm going to make my own comic," and that's how they started in indie comics. And so I'm not surprised to see as many Christians as there are. I'm not surprised to see so many people looking for ways to put it like a creative way of using their faith into their stories, and I think Angels is a natural way to do that.
Yeah. I would even go even further and say that people feel compelled to write what in their hearts they know to be true.
Amen. Yeah.
So, what were you saying, Frederick?
I was saying he was just like, I felt personally targeted by everything you just said. I've got an angel on page 4 of my comic giving the powers to my character, or mainly taken away.
It's funny that you said that because
yes.
Jared, you mentioned that a few other people in Comicsgate are going down that path, and it's true because I've seen that kind of parallel development happening amongst Comicsgate, where we have similar themes, not just that with the angelic characters, but just things in general, and it makes sense because we're a like-minded group, and
it's true.
Yeah, we have a similar sense of humor. We like the same things, so obviously, eventually, we're going to overlap. Yeah. But the other day, we were talking about, it's funny because years ago, I was thinking of making a comic based on the Book of Revelations.
Oh, nice!
And it focusing on having a dramatic depiction of the demons that appear in the Book of Revelations, and the angels and the 4 horsemen, and let's be honest, that would be sick.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I mean, that just fell to the wayside. But we were talking about that the other week, and like we were looking at stuff, and like
is somebody playing a slot machine in the background? You dropped out there, Carbon, and then I started hearing somebody playing a slot machine.
Can you hear me now?
Now we
I
can
hear you now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slot
Dr. Ben,
machine.
get off your goddamn slot machine. You're the only person not on screen. I know it's you.
It's that fucking Ripverse
What are
hat.
you playing? I
Yeah,
know, he's making him fucking...
He's working on a prototype for a
Candy Crush
Ripperverse
over
slot
there.
machine, Patrick.
Mm.
Damn it.
Slots, big money.
Just throwing in those Brax coins and spinning it. Yeah.
Are we boring you, Dr. Ben? Is that what's going on here?
No.
Look, really, I'm just trying to conspire to have the greatest crossover in indie comics history and just have everyone's angelic influence all in one big, huge crossover.
Oh,
book.
that'd be
It's
bad.
gonna be good eventually.
Yeah.
Once we can all cross over, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
All of my
Yeah.
characters are going to be assholes, though, just so you know. So
Well, yeah, of course. But no, Carbon, going back to what you're saying about the Revelation, yeah. You can definitely make that happen. I think that's, and when you mentioned, you said you guys were looking for something, and then that's when you cut out. So
yeah. Well, the other day, Dr. Ben actually pulled up a Jehovah's Witness magazine that had
Oh, no.
drawings of the Revelation.
yeah,
But it wasn't. Those are like soft core. Those were like soft core Revelation
or
pictures.
Revelation.
What I have in mind, I'm thinking like some fucking badass like 4
Real
horsemen
shit.
with the fucking Grim Reapers on the horses, the angels coming down with swords, like,
Yes.
looking badass. Like it's balls to the wall Revelations. That
Revelation
was-
makes Berserk look tame sometimes.
yeah,
make it happen.
yeah, there
I
you
want it.
go.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, what kind of person would write a whole comic book about Revelations? I don't know.
I think it'd be great. Come on now, you can't.
Yo, Patrick, let's do it, man.
Can't beat that idea.
Bro,
Do it.
Let's
Do
it,
it.
bro.
I'll draw the cover.
You know you want to.
How long is the Bible? How long is the Bible? Very long book. No. Bear with me here for a
66
second.
books. Like, what do you
The
need?
Bible itself is a very, very, very long book, and Revelations is the last book of all of those.
But it's the
about
most
that.
important.
I know.
There's
I know.
others, but I think it's the most important in a sense of
Now that's a Bible.
getting-
My goodness.
Now that's a Bible.
yes.
I mean, I've read Revelations
there.
in full. I've read the Book of Revelations in totality.
Yeah.
I believe you could pull it off. Dramatically in 100
yes.
pages.
Gotcha.
In 100 pages of a comic book, you could pull off the Book of Revelation.
Wow.
I think
And no one's done it.
Book of
Nobody's
Revelations
done that.
is
This
spread
is
over the course of several hundred years, and you have to write several books to get to it.
What?
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 Come on.
Look,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is your goal of having a book about Revelations being
That's
written,
exactly what it-
that goal is currently being undertaken by somebody that you know already, and that's all I'm going to say. So,
Ooh.
Oh, that's you.
anyway,
Oh, so
Grey
you-
Wolf says,
you-
I'm thinking of doing
so
a
you
comic
s-
version of my true crime book, The Barker Carpus Gang, an American crime family. I'd call it
So,
Crime.
Patrick,
Day.
you stole my idea 2 weeks ago.
Brother,
is what you're
I
saying.
started writing your idea 9 years ago.
But he
See, this
admits
is
it's your
why-
idea.
This is why I'm not going to share my ideas anymore.
Time
This is
travelers.
why.
But
I think I've got a
see,
map in my
there's
Bible.
people
I
out
don't
there
have
who
anything
think
else
that
to show off.
There's people out there who think that I write comic books so I can make money.
That's done out of order, Pat. Stealing Carbon's idea.
They said
What'd you
what?
say, Johnny?
That's really mean.
There you go.
I-
My Bible has
what?
a map.
No,
I said
Johnny,
that's done out
don't take his side of
of
this.
order, stealing
That's not what
stealing
happened. Okay?
Carbon's idea.
Oh my God, that's not
At
what
least
happened.
at least include me. Have
You
me
should
do
be ashamed of
incorporate.
yourself.
Well, yeah. Let me collaborate. Let me do something. I'll
Write
do
the
the
foreword.
lettering.
Collab, yo.
I'll do the lettering.
You should
I
get,
already have,
50% of the rights, really.
40%.
Carving gets
I-
40%.
I can't have you letter Carbon because I already have industry legend Frederick Weathers lettering. So sorry.
All right.
That's
Well,
not-
yeah, okay. You know what? Here's what I'll say. You can have it. Here's what I'll say. You
It's
can
the
have
Bible.
that
I
one.
can write anything I
No,
want.
no. Well, hey, hold on.
Sue him, Carbon.
No. What?
Johnny
No. I'm
Bonahart.
saying, hey, look. I got a dozen of them. I got dozens of ideas in the works. You could have that freebie. That's a freebie for you.
I think I want to see it from you, though, Carbon Heart.
Well,
someone,
I mean, it's
someone
up to
do a
Patrick
modern
now.
retelling of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, listen,
Up
if
to
they can
Patrick.
have, in the Bible, there's different versions anyway, so we could have like a montage of different versions.
So
of
who's writing the
Comicsgate.
King James version? Who's writing the ESV?
I mean, look,
I'm
I don't want to
writing-
get
I'm
I don't want
writing-
to get blasphemous here, but
Why
that
don't- why
story's
don't
already
you
been
do the
told.
Quran?
Wait, what are you saying, Carbon?
I'm saying I don't want to get blasphemous here, but that story's already been told. I got dozens of other stories that I'm gonna tell.
I understand, and all I'm saying is like the wording in the Bible is appropriate to the cultures that received it at the time, and so there are understandings of certain concepts within Revelations that are accepted based upon almost medieval thinking that may
Okay,
or
you know
may
what?
not be quite exactly
what?
what it's going to look like.
No
I'm
cap.
gonna put you to the challenge now, Patrick. Since
Oh,
you just
shit.
said that, I'm putting you to the challenge. I want to see you make that book. Go ahead and make it.
Oh,
Let's see
I'll
the
be-
book that you.
I'll be honest with you.
Ooh, them be
No,
fighting words.
Yeah, do it.
It's Carbon. It's already.
Yeah, do
It's
it,
already.
Oh,
it's
so,
already-
you're backing out.
No.
You're backing out, is what you're saying.
I'm saying, 'tis already done. It's
Ah,
just a
okay.
matter of. It's just a matter
So,
of
okay.
paying artists and getting people
right.
to buy comic
See,
books. That's it.
That's how
it.
powerful my ideas are.
Well,
That you back out. You
He
back
paid
out
for
of
God
even doing it.
himself.
He retroactively copied you and financed
like-
it and everything.
No, Carbon's gonna have a version of the Bible that says that Carbon is the one, not John, who wrote
Look,
Revelation.
this all makes perfect sense if anyone here is a Calvinist. It was all predestined. Everything.
Right.
All right.
Eh.
I'm happy now.
Get the fuck out of here. Heresy.
It's too big of a challenge. It's too big of a challenge to take.
No, dude. It's only too big of a challenge for those who are too weak to undertake said challenge.
Hey,
Ooh.
you know what?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
let's see it, man. If you can get it done, I'd be happy to see it.
Is this comic written in Aramaic?
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this, and I actually mean this, and I'm 100% being serious. Unless the world ends within the next 12 years, the story that you're asking for will be told. End of story.
See, he's just looking for a cop out.
That's
For the next 10 years, he's going to be working on the end of the world.
Frederick,
This is his villain arc.
I legitimately thought the world
I can't
would
believe
end
I'm here for the heel
years
turn.
ago. So here I am now. The world hasn't ended, and I'm like, fuck. I probably should have paid my fucking taxes. You know what I mean?
Well, that could happen.
I do actually.
That is true.
That's usually the
could
word
happen.
that I say about paying
So-
taxes. Yeah.
That's how I feel about everything.
I was sure the world was
The
gonna
world's
end.
gonna end in a second here. Why the fuck am I paying student loans? You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, if you haven't paid for taxes for 2020, that is a justifiable, argument. I'd
Well,
say.
that's
Well, honestly,
I'm
it's-
exaggerating there, but
Part of the reason why it might not be, it's a very divisive comic to make.
yeah,
You're probably better off making something that's a little more universally,
yeah,
you
fuck
know,
that.
readable to people.
The truth is the truth, and it must be told one way or another. And fiction is the greatest way to tell the truth, so that the masses, which we've already discussed, 50% of which are less than average intelligence, will look upon such a thing. They will look upon a fictional thing that they enjoy, and they will go, "Oh, what are these ideas? Huh? Well, let me think about this then." That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I'm doing. So here we are.
I like the confidence, Patrick. I like it. It's good.
This is what God created me for. It's gonna happen. So.
Amen.
Hell yeah, bro.
Anyway,
It
aliens.
should be a line in the
Yes.
comic.
Aliens, right? aliens made the pyramids. Or maybe it was just the old gods that have been talked about in every fucking religion across all of history. Yeah, okay, anyway. Keck.
You always
He
gotta
said the
bring
second
religion
time
into it.
Skeleton Chorus said Keck. Sorry, what'd you say, Johnny? Sorry.
Oh man.
I said,
What'd you say?
let's not talk about religion for just one show.
I don't even think it was me this
So
time.
this isn't a me thing, huh? He does this all the
I'm
time.
sorry. Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
Guilty as charged.
I come from for the religious rants personally. You know.
Johnny gets fucking sick of them. He's like, I want to kick Patrick off of my show, but it would, it would be mean. It's okay, Johnny. I'll stop. Anyway,
I worship the spirit of the field.
I know, and your spirit is a pagan god who will be struck down by the true. Anyway, let me go back to work.
Present company excluded.
Oh.
Oh no.
The spirit of the fields and the trees themselves bend to the will of the one true God, Jesus Christ, King and Lord. Anyway,
What a transition.
let me bring up one thing that I thought about. I'm sure you guys were wondering how I felt about the Daredevil trailer. Well,
isn't there other news for us to talk about?
there is. I just wanted to bring this one thing
This
up.
is White Panther, right?
You guys were talking about negative things that you noticed. This is a negative thing I noticed right here. White Panther, who is ostensibly the villain, I guess. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Or White Tiger. That's what they're called, not White Panther. Look at this. In the background here, we have, what's that? It's a cross. Must be the bad guy. Must be a Christian. Oh, no. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Did you see how close the cross was to the frame right next to it?
Big cross, dude.
It's not natural. They're like
Yeah.
a huge wall. Why are they like stuck next to each other? Makes no sense.
Skeleton
Yeah.
core.
Good question.
Oh, brother. Just read some more scripture. Aliens aren't real. And I used to think they were real. Okay, then what's the next subject? The next subject is we were going to talk about diamond distribution. Diamond distribution,
Oh, yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, let's talk
Collapses
about that.
upon
Because
itself.
somebody
Diamond
a couple
is
weeks ago was all
forever.
flirting their peacock fucking feathers about, you know.
You guys hear that?
mhm.
Cock right there.
Is
Gotcha. Somebody flip that,
I got
Katie.
a question about diamond distribution. Are they responsible, or is Marvel and DC responsible for the practice of requiring local comic book shops to buy certain quantities of comics before they can get variants? Is that Diamond's fault?
It's not Diamond's fault.
No, those are the publishers.
So that's the publisher's fault.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Diamond
Well,
kind of.
so is the subject matter involved in the publisher's books that people just don't want to buy because they're not interested in Harley Quinn's lesbian affair with Poison Ivy.
Oh, you don't think that the
yeah.
lesbian
I fucking
fart
hate
book is going to
shit.
turn things around?
Yeah, but not in the right direction.
That was a good fart joke.
Oh, man.
That was good. It's wild. I mean, the only thing that I really dislike actually really like that this is happening. The only thing I dislike is that Eric July is now on his I told y'all.
Oh, I
Nevertheless,
know.
what I said, what it is was that I said that this was going to be, yeah. I can't stand that shit. Shut the fuck up. We all knew this was happening. So don't pretend like you're some special person for realizing that the comic industry was literally nosediving. We all knew it was happening.
Well,
I mean,
wasn't this sort of. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, at this point, Eric July is in no position to say anything about anything because he criticizes the mainstream or whatever publisher goes bankrupt. But bro, your books suck. Nobody likes any of your fucking books. So shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's useless. for him to say anything. But anyway,
No, I agree.
Hmm.
You hear that,
Well-
Dr. Ben?
Yeah, get stuffed, Dr. Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Oh, I was going to say that
Yeah, what were you going to say? Don't tell me. I'm listening.
I didn't want to name them, but like one of my local shop
Explain yourself.
in the tri-state area, they said that Diamond is bad on deliveries, and many unfulfilled books that they've paid for, they're owed books or owed money, one of the two, but went bankrupt. So those are like debtors. Diamond might not have the books, might not deliver them. Who knows?
Is he for real? Like,
Is that the end of your sentence there? 'Cause it sounded like
Yes, that's
it was like a dot.
Diamond sucks. Everyone has always said Diamond.
Yeah, I mean,
Diamond sucks.
Pete Samedi had a
You've been
good
doing magic
discussion on the
mushrooms again,
topic.
Be honest, doctor.
What were you saying?
He said, "Have you been doing magic mushrooms again?"
That's a yes.
That's a yes. That's a yes. Hard yes. He's 3 hours deep, folks. He's fucking soaring. He's almost at the point where he's reached his peak, and then they start the slow climb down. Wow.
are you on the magical ganja? The magical ganja is what you're on.
Yeah.
Visiting Mushroom Kingdom.
But, I didn't have.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
This is going to turn into a review of a comic, isn't it?
Oh my god.
I hope it's a review of a comic.
Yes, folks, I love a
Okay.
good risk. So.
Get that shit off the screen.
Hey, it's the Ripazine.
This is brought to you by Ripazine.
Number one.
How much are they paying you, Dr.
No.
Ben?
No, we're not derailing the fucking screen for a piece of shit
Brought
book.
to you by
Is
Eric
your soul
July and the
worth the money?
Rippaverse. He co-signs everything that we've said tonight.
How much are they paying you?
Is your immortal soul worth it?
I can neither confirm nor deny any rumors or allegations.
Son of a bitch.
I love how instantly aggressive gentle Katie got the moment.
Well, I like that Ben is learning the lingo.
Oh my god.
He's sharp on that denial.
It's the hibbity jibbity. The hibbity jibbity's kicking in.
Yep.
I did want to say, Patrick, the stream we were both in the chat the other day, or maybe I was on the stream and you were in the chat.
Katie's
It
channel.
was my show.
Yeah.
Was that it? And you were like, you knew whatever we were talking about, the lingo, the young kids lingo,
Slang.
Yeah.
the slang.
Yeah.
And I had Riz confused with
No cap.
yes, I had Riz confused with no cap, and you were in the chat.
Yeah.
To me, I wanted to thank you. I didn't,
Yeah, no problem, dude. Anytime. Like no cap. Like anytime. I don't even know what I just said.
I don't.
It's
I think
okay,
I
you're-
know. I refuse to acknowledge it or learn. I'm going to stick with my 1980s and 90s lingo until I'm dead.
Yes, good.
Radical.
Radical.
What does Johnny
What do you
have?
got there, Johnny? Is that a ET?
That looks like that would be
Now
John.
that's groovy.
Pull it back a second. Pull it out a little bit.
It's Dumbledore.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
When you there it is.
Mini pop.
Look at that.
I need glasses.
He's so cute.
Aw. That's the is that the Michael Caine version of Dumbledore? It is.
Is that a
isn't it?
Funko Pop?
Harry as well.
Oh,
Nice.
look at that.
Oh,
they're
look
out-
a little
they're out of
Harry.
Where's his scar?
He's
though?
so
I don't see his
cute.
scar.
Is he?
It's hidden in the
Little
resolution.
glasses.
Is it because it's Johnny? Pull
Why
it.
is it staring into my soul?
Johnny, hold your hand behind it. Hold your hand behind it, Johnny. That way it'll
Yeah.
focus and we'll see exactly what it looks like. There we go. Oh no! Shit!
So you're a fan of Harry Potter?
Smash
Are
it
you-
into,
are you, Johnny?
into the camera.
Now,
lens.
pull your hand back. Pull your hand back by about 2 inches.
Do we have any beings?
There you go.
And just the antenna slightly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're collectibles.
Your British accent is atrocious.
They're collectibles.
Oh my god, you're talking like you're like have autism or something. They are collectibles.
That's the only.
I'm
Look,
gonna make a move
that's the
now.
only type of British accent he can do. It's all right.
Sorry.
There's there's posh.
Hey, look, I
and
don't
autistic,
practice.
and there's just different ones.
Right. So
What's
the
that, Johnny?
collectibles, where'd you get them from, Johnny?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, he's got to leave
Oh,
then.
okay.
Johnny Scab,
You
ladies and
what?
gentlemen, Johnny, is it correct or incorrect that the first edition of the Top Hat Club will be this Sunday?
The
This Sunday?
26th, I think.
Oh, the 26th. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday, or no, 2 Sundays from now.
I'm
2
excited
Sundays
to
from
see
now.
that.
Yeah.
The only people who don't watch the Top Hat Club are probably Marxist scumbags. So
Oof, harsh.
Communists for sure.
just saying.
Patrick's face.
I'm still waiting on my top hat, Johnny. I ordered it like the moment you were like, it's the 26th. I'm like, fuck, I got to get my top hat right now. And I ordered a really nice top hat, but it's like they haven't even updated me on shipping yet. I don't even know when it's coming. I need that now.
It's all right.
Top hats in the chat,
Alright,
folks.
we
If
can
you're
always-
if you're still here and you're still making in the chats, put top hats in the chat, please.
I
Okay,
started shopping for top hats as well. But,
Johnny,
Thank you.
Johnny,
Thank
go
you
ahead.
for having me. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you,
Thank
man.
you for
Nice-
having me. Nice
Thank
meeting
you for being here,
and,
It was a
Johnny.
pleasure.
nice
We
chatting with
Hail,
appreciate
you.
it.
Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
It's always
Bye,
awesome
Johnny.
to have you on,
Have a good
man.
one.
God bless. I
God
mean,
bless
the real
Johnny.
God, not your druid God.
Jesus. Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Johnny,
Patrick,
it is.
Patrick, what do you think about what Mel Gibson said about the Catholic Church the other day on
I
Rogan?
think that he's let me put it like this. The Catholic Church, whether you choose to believe it or not, is the first iteration of Christianity that has ever existed. And while it has been affected by human people, which is always the problem with everything, it still is the rock upon which Christ built his church. And so what I would say is that the idea that it has been corrupted by people inside of it is entirely believable when you consider the concept that if the enemy is real, Satan, then he's going to attack the strongest enemy. And so the strongest enemy would therefore be the Catholic Church. And so he has done a great job with pedophilia, with all manner of degeneracy that the Catholic Church, not the Catholic Church, but that priests or people in the Catholic Church have engaged in. But the fact of the matter is that there's a great deal about the Catholic Church, some of which, some of it's 100%, and some of it is inspired by what I would call dissidents, not always Marxist, although recently in the past 200 years, certainly Marxists have infiltrated the Catholic Church and done a great deal of damage to it. But pagan/satanic dissident influences that have affected it. But so long story short, what I'm saying is that you should all convert to Catholicism, except you should not 100% believe all of its authorities right now in the modern day and age. That's and
So
and
you
honestly,
agree? You agree with Mel Gibson?
yes, I agree with Mel Gibson. And honestly, that makes me, according to Catholic doctrine, not a Catholic. So that's when people ask me what my religion is, that's why I say I was raised Catholic. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh yeah, I was raised Catholic, but I got an abortion 3 years ago and it's totally fine. Like, I'm not one of those people. I'm one of the people who's like, I see the influence of Satan upon human people who are involved in the church, as it is with any religion. But Satan focuses his attention upon his greatest enemy. And so you see, like you guys know, even especially if you're not Catholic, you're very well aware of all the negative things that the media has to say about Catholics. I'm sure you are. Dr. Ben doesn't even think that I'm a Christian because I'm a Catholic. Like legitimately, like that's some of the propaganda that goes on right now that's wild to think about. But here we are. You know what I mean?
Well, for me as a Baptist, a Southern Baptist, no, not the Snake Oil Baptist, like just, NASCAR Baptist, whatever.
I didn't know that was a
my thing is with the Catholic, like all that stuff, but I've always had a problem with how it's run because to me, if I need to confess, like for example, if I need to confess my sins, I don't need to go to the pastor.
Why not?
I have that, and with Mary, like, okay, yeah, Mary's important, but here for Christ. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? It's just there's some things that just it's odd.
Yes, it does, but
Weird.
it doesn't at the same
Hold on,
time.
Patrick. Let me
Mary thing
respond to
especially.
Katie.
Go ahead.
Your instincts on that are natural, and that's part of the reason why there was a reformation of the church. And so therefore, you said you went to Baptist Christian churches, and so did I. And there's other Christian churches, denominations that basically modified the practices of the church. And let me mention briefly that this is something that Jesus himself warned people about the fact that the churches that you can be a part of can fall victim to these issues and these problems.
Yes.
And so therefore they, the church isn't always 100% correct. So
yeah. No. I my dad was a Sunday school pastor and grew up in the church, and my grandfather was an actual like full-time pastor who traveled to a lot of the rural areas where churches were having difficulty staying open or rebuilding, and I've seen it's not just Catholic, it's a lot of it in any faith you go into, where the devil definitely does make himself known through people, through actions, and I've seen it myself. So yeah, I can totally understand what Patrick and with Mel Gibson. It's wild, if that makes any sense. But
No,
I'm
it
just
does.
saying, like to me, like I just feel like if I need to confess, like if I need to have a talk with God and confess my sins, I'm not gonna go to the Pope. Like I'm just not. Like that's between me and God.
Katie, can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, God said, and I'm paraphrasing here, Jews, go and shit outside of your camp. Don't shit inside of your camp. Go outside of your camp. Dig a hole and shit there, and then come back into your camp. So what God is asking for the people to do is to do a physical action within the context of their physicality, that at the time was considered part of the moral law. Like the Jews consider that part of the moral law. So but why did they consider it part of the moral law? Because when it comes down to it, this action of shitting outside of your camp, I know this is a weird example, but this action of shitting outside of your camp.
you probably could have found a better analogy than this one.
No. This is actually a good enough analogy. This logically is sound. To go shit outside of your camp is a physical action that you can take that will prevent you from acquiring disease, right? Right? So God was telling people to do things within the context of their physicality that prevented them from acquiring disease because he loved them and he cared about them. When God asks you to confess your priests or your sins to a priest, a lot of people look at that and they go, I hate this. Like the concept that I have to go talk to some dude, like some fucking dude who I've never even spoke to. Like he's just some random dude. Like, why would I tell him my sins? It's not about the forgiveness of God coming down upon you, because he will forgive you if you're truly sorrowful for your sins. It's about the physical action of speaking to another human person and admitting what you have done that was evil. and letting
I
it
see
out,
what you're saying.
saying
Yeah.
it. Once you
I
say
see what
it,
you're saying.
once
I
it's
think
no
it's just
longer
maybe the setup is weird. Maybe
it's
it's
a
just
mat
I don't
because
know.
it's a secret. Your sin is a secret until you tell somebody.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Patrick.
But you're right.
because-
No, that's correct.
So it's a
yes.
way for God to like overcome your conscious desire to just keep your sin and hold it inside of yourself and never tell anybody about it ever. You have to admit it. You have to say, "I'm sorry. What I did was bad." I'm going to tell this guy right here. He's not going to tell anybody. God's merciful. Not everybody has to know what you've done.
It's also a way that. Sorry,
Go ahead.
Patrick.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's also a way to hold you more accountable.
Right.
Because a lot of the practices that were implemented in the church, not just that, but also even communion, were like the physical practice of it holds you accountable to doing it, and when you and when you're required to do it, it actually like the memory of it will make you less inclined to repeat it.
Precisely. That's the point.
But
well, now
however, I'm agreeing with you, and I understand the logic behind it, but at the same time, I'm still I agree with the Protestants. You know me, Patrick. This is not a secret.
Yeah,
I'm a Protestant. I agree with Martin Luther with the 95 Theses and the
Heretic.
criticisms. Oh no, sir.
He's only
Not
a heretic
at all.
about certain things.
Not at all, sir, because those criticisms were justified because of the practices done by men.
Certainly, many
in the church.
Yes,
but anyway, not to get too deep into this, but that's just
we're already here, brother.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like I didn't think about it like the bigger picture of it. But yeah, I see what you. I agree. I feel like I'm retarded.
Real
but
quick,
that's just
no, you're fine. Grey Wolf says the Roman Catholic Church didn't exist before Constantine. Yes, it did. It just wasn't called the Roman Catholic Church. They decided upon the specifics of everything during Constantine's reign. But what you consider the church existed, and then was like the specifics of the theology and everything was decided upon. Not even at Constantine. There were a ton of meetings to discuss things. God never commanded to confess sin to some priest, directly to him only. But you see, God said, God said that what you loose upon earth shall be loosed in heaven, and what you bind upon earth shall be bound in heaven. To his followers when he established apostolic succession. So you can deny apostolic succession. That's a different argument entirely. But if you don't deny apostolic succession and you say, yes, the apostles that Jesus had, and then who then passed their apostolic succession down to the bishops and the priests and yada, yada, yada. If you agree with apostolic succession, then confession is actually a legitimate thing. But if you don't agree with apostolic consent, well, then, you're arguing with Jesus at that point.
Let Dr. Ben talk. He had a response.
Go ahead, Dr. Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah, let
I just want to address Grey Wolf's
talk.
comments.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, can you guys hear that? If I snip those.
Yeah.
Thinking how Billy Tucci does that with his mouth. They do little sounds and shit because it's like
God, you're killing me, Dr. Ben.
You can be like, hey,
Well, now that we're on the subject, hey, Dr. Ben. So, Patrick, explain to me what is Dr. Ben doing? What is this? I need to know. What
you
this
know what?
Shit.
I'll explain to you what Dr. Ben's
doing.
Yeah,
please fucking explain to me. I need to know.
Dr. Ben has spent the entire night talking in favor of the Ripperverse, talking about all kinds of things that are fucking straight up bullshit. We tried to bring up a conversation. We tried to bring up say we're talking about Jared's comic book over here. Dr. Ben wants to talk about Swamp Thing. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? We spend this whole time trying to build up this show, trying to get people on a conversation, trying to get everybody involved. We got fucking 6 guests. We had 7 guests earlier. I paid StreamYards $447 for an entire year's worth. Have all of you motherfuckers on here. You got mad at me. I kicked you off the last show, one of those shows. I only had 5 guests. Now you're so I bring you on my show here and you're like, we have a deep conversation about theology, and you're like, hey, do you guys hear these clippers? Clip, clip, clip. You know what, Dr. Ben? I've had just about enough of it. And if I really wanted to tell you what I thought, I would say that you're a son